Hey guys, we're here with the cast of Colony. What has Comic-Con been like this year?
Great.
Good.
Great.
You're a veteran of Comic-Con. You've been here a couple times, right?
This is actually my second time, so I don't know. That puts me. I'm not a virgin, but I wouldn't call myself a veteran.
Okay, so exactly a couple times, I guess.
Yes.
So your character on the show is the politician. He's the leader. Today we're smack in the middle of primaries. Where do you think your character fits into today's politics?
Wow. I don't have enough hair, nor is it orange to be in that category. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I think if I was to compare myself to one of the candidates, I would have to put myself on the Republican side, just in terms of some of the ways in which Snyder has went about the first season. Saying that control and security were, and outright power, blatant power is what was needed. At the same time, there was a sensitive underbelly to that I think is more indicative and more of a more thoughtful way of approaching things on the other side. That was a nice neutral way of not endorsing either way.
No, I'm okay with that. No, you're right. He does have a sensitive side. It's like the ex-professor to me.
Yes.
Is that intentional?
Well, actually, you got it right, because that's who he is. It is intentional. I think that part of what Carlton and Ryan were trying to show was that those who are in power, you don't always know how they got there and why they got there, and sometimes circumstances are such that we find ourselves beholden to people who don't necessarily know why they're there themselves. And certainly for Snyder, he was learning on the job, and yet he was just a guy who also taught at a school, and I think that's part of what makes him an interesting character, is that you see a lot of different elements of him as, while he's trying to sort of figure out how to rule the land.
Right, absolutely. And what can we most look forward to for this coming season?
Well, whatever was intense and unknown about the first season is just intensified and more unknown. And yet, at the same time, we're going to dive more into the aliens, the surveillance state, as we were hinted at the very last moment of the first season. That intensifies. So everything that sort of polarized all characters will polarize them even more. And again, they did such a terrific job of establishing such strong relationships and character in the first season that's just going to make everything, as it gets more intense, that much richer as we go along.
Wow, that sounds unbelievable. All right, well, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
My pleasure.
Thanks.